Greetings, dear suckers. My name's Joe Bob, and I'm very peeved. And welcome back to Scarlet Hollow. Last time, we stumbled upon some kind of satanic ritual of some kind. I don't know if it was satanic, but it was definitely a ritual of some kind. So, this time, obviously, we're gonna continue following the music of whoever drew us into this place. Because that can't possibly go poorly. Nah, fuck it. You have your missing door handle. Let's just get out of here. You make your way back to where you woke up and slot in the handle into the secret door on the wall. It twists, and the door pulls back. And you stumble through your closet and back into your bedroom. You lean against your doorframe, relieved at once again having sturdy, unsloped ground beneath your feet, and moderately clean air to breathe. The estate has gotten to you. After the events of this morning, your body burns with a ferocious itch to leave this place behind. To be anywhere but here. Well, see ya. You leave in a haze. Mindlessly grabbing clothes and an uncharged phone, barely even noticing your surroundings as you rush outside. The morning's revelation seizing your body and mind alike with a suffocating grip. The cell. The doll. Enoch's occult sanctuary. Whoever the fuck that is. The boy in the wall. And his outfits in Edwardine's closet. Is it possible your cousin has known about all of this? A good question. I can't jump to any conclusions just yet. I was shown what someone else wanted me to see. A very good answer. That's true. Everything you found in the Forbidden Wing could have been the work of an unreliable narrator. Not that it saves you from the ever-tightening grip of anxiety, strangling your lungs. The events of this morning aren't the sort of thing you can casually move to the back of your mind. You have to do something. Must I? Let's see. I'm going to the police. I need to see Tabitha. Maybe there's an explanation. Tabitha needs to know. Going to someone I can trust. Who the fuck would that be? The only way out of this is by finding the rest of the stone carvings. Or getting the hell out of this place, even if I need to walk, fucking based. Or, I'm not ready to make a move. I'm going to the library to get more information. I wonder where this leads. You've seen everything a sane person could possibly want to see in Scarlet Hollow. And then some. It's time for you to leave. In other words, it was time for Thomas to leave. He had seen everything. Who knows how long it'll take you on foot, but every road leads somewhere, right? And a road isn't here. If you're fortunate, you'll cross paths with a car willing to pick you up sooner rather than later. You aren't spending another second in this godforsaken town. Holy shit, am I actually just gonna straight up leave? You start on the road and you don't stop. Past Main Street, past the library where you barely escaped the judgment of a furious spirit for crimes you neither committed nor benefited from. But your family isn't your problem anymore. Past the bus stop and the gas station on the edge of town. One foot in front of the other. Hey! Miles stops you before you're able to leave town, doing his best to hide that he's out of breath. He must have been running to catch up. Hi? Joe Bob. I don't remember what voice I gave to this guy. Joe Bob. Wait, I have to talk to you. There's something going on, but I can't remember what. It has to do with Sybil and somebody else, and that somebody feels really important. There's something weird about hearing him say the name Sybil. That is the connective tissue you were missing just a moment ago. Isn't Sybil his mom? And I feel like if I don't remember before it's too late, somebody's gonna... Never mind. This was stupid. That just sounded crazy. A rare instance where sounding crazy might just lead to answers. Like where you can find his sister, who should be here, but isn't. This isn't my problem. I'm getting out of here. Leave. Whatever. Should have kept my mouth shut. Forget I ever said anything. Go get lost in the woods or whatever the hell you're about to do. He scoffs, glancing to the side, clearly trying to hide the glimmer of tears in his eyes. But that's none of your business. He sulks away, and you turn your back on Scarlet Hollow, hopefully for good. Is it just like before, one foot in front of the other? Just you and the road and the trees and the open air where nobody can shove you into a profane little box. You spent days waiting for someone else to help you get out of this situation. You'll find another town soon enough, and eventually you'll be on a bus, and then you'll be back home, away from whatever the hell Scarlet Hollow had in store for you. And if Tabitha ever tries to call you again, you'll let it go to voicemail. Fucking Struth. There's a sound in the brush by the road. Not these things again. Yeah, I'm trying to leave and never return. Fucking... They weren't so hard to deal with before, though. They're too squishy and weak to pose any real threat. Surely, even in such large numbers, they don't stand a chance against someone like you. But maybe this isn't worth it. Maybe you can tough it out until Monday. Fuck that! Fight your way through! It doesn't matter that there are more of them now. They're nothing to you. There's a large fallen branch nearby. You hoist it, swinging at the nearest ditchling. I am literally trying to leave now and never return. Isn't that what you've been saying this whole fucking time, huh? Just like before, there's no structure to these things. It pops like an overstuffed balloon. Purplish gore splatters across the pavement. You're already swinging for another, leaving a hefty dent in its side. Another and another. They're bigger than they used to. They're bigger than they used to be, and they seem to be closing in around you. I don't know why I'm even bothering to stand here and fight them. I should have just broken the lines and run for it. The branch keeps flying, but you're starting to feel them now, touching you. They're too soft skin, fingers like bloated caterpillars. Look at them. There's not that many you could run past. A snap, splintering wood. You have to use your fists now. They'll run out of bodies eventually. Keep going. There are so many. You can't see the road anymore. Just bruise-colored bodies, like piled corpses. With every blow you land, you find yourself having to yank your arm away from all their reaching hands, trying to pull you into the throng. Let them pull me. Fucking bull rush the fuckers. Until they don't have to pull anymore. They've closed in around you. There's no space left to ready any kind of defense. Only marshmallow soft flesh. Then start fucking chewing! But they're not all soft. You feel a sting in your lower leg. One of them got close enough to bite. So much for harmless to people. Bite. I don't know that bite is the right word for this. Your calf goes numb, so you don't feel the next one insert its awful little stinger into you. Nor do you feel the egg you're sure they slipped under your skin. The numbness spreads up to your thigh, static where you used to be. You fall to the ground and they swarm you. This is what they do to animals they corner in the woods. They're turning you into meat. Fun. This is the end of your playthrough. Okay then. It may not be the end of you. Joe Bob's story will continue to its conclusion. Oh, huh. This is an Huh. Okay then. Of course it will continue. God fucking damn it. Hang on. I fucking knew they wouldn't have the fucking balls to have this be an actual legitimate ending. God fucking damn it. Does this change anything? Nah. Okay, what does running mean? Is it running back to town or running past them? You turn tail and run, but the only place to run to is back into the heart of the holler. No, it fucking isn't. There's a lot of directions you can run at any given time. Fucking railroading asshats. There's a fucking million ways. Hell, actually, you know what? Yes, do run back to the holler. Grab an actual fucking weapon. A lot of them. Grab a gun. A lot of them. And keep going until there's nothing. Keep fucking slaughtering them until there's not a goddamn one left. Is that an option? Fate, it would seem, has trapped you between certain death and the crushing weight of the unknown. Of course it isn't. That would be too sensible. But at least you're able to put some space between you and the ditchlings. How about we... Still, you need a plan. You need to do something. But where could you possibly turn to next? Ugh. Of course. Of course it would turn this. Of course it would fucking turn out like this. I should have expected it ever since the door. And you know what? I did. Before even that. I just had to be certain, you know? I couldn't pass up the slim chance that this game would actually be genuinely based for once and have the option to actually just cut and run. But don't get it twisted, Black Tabby Games. This shit has been marked. I will not forget this. Fine then. Let's follow the music like a good little train. You've come this far. Clearly, you're meant to go just a little further. The stairs take you into what you have to assume was once a servant's quarters. A network of cramped passageways hidden away behind the expansive rooms of the estate, without so much as a window for illumination. But you persist, and descend deeper into the bowels of the Scarlet estate, the echoing piano your only company. Soon enough, you see light again. Light again. Sounds like a medicine. The sun creeping in through the edges of a nearly hidden door. You're at the end of another long corridor. Its high ceilings and tall windows are almost disorienting as you step out from the cramped, gloomy stairwell. The music echoes mournfully in the vast space. a chorus of wind adding a melancholic harmony as it whips in from the overgrown courtyard outside. You found your way to the first floor, which means you must be close to the ballroom from the first day. But you've yet to confront your guide. Finish what you started and find the piano player, or on second thought, it's time to get out of here. Sure. The musician plays on as you move cautiously through the dark. The slope now so dramatic, it feels like walking downhill. Jagged remains of the floorboards jutting out like splintered trees. The flow of notes finally stops as you reach an open doorway to the music room. Wayne stands from the bench of a battered grand piano, turning to face you. What a surprise. Hi.
So now you've seen it, Joe Bob.
He makes his way down the tilted floor towards you. A breeze passes by him, carrying with it the smell from the wound that is his body. Yeah, he is a fucking wound, isn't he?
I hope you enjoyed the show.
He stops just a few paces away.
And I trust you understand the implications of everything you've seen.
No, not really, honestly. I mean, kind of. But, I don't know. You could just fucking explain shit. That'd be really fucking nice. You're worse than the average fucking Disco Elysium character at that.
If you aren't careful, and you put your faith in the wrong people, things could go very, very wrong for you.
And what? Are you not the wrong people? Attack him! Wayne effortlessly grabs your arm as you swing at him, pinning it against the wall. Rot floods your nostrils, and for a moment you find yourself unable to struggle against his overwhelming strength. Fucking headbutt him, come on! Also, I have 2 arms.
I've grown fond of your outbursts, Joe Bob.
The feeling ain't mutual, fucker.
But there is something that needs to be said before I let you go. The witch holds some of the final pieces. Find her, pry them from her hands, and then everything should start falling into place.
The witch? The witch, huh? Sybil, I would imagine, is the obvious implication here. You know, if you're so certain of the final pieces, why don't you tell me them? Hmm? You must know them if you're so certain that everything should start falling in place. How about you fucking be useful for once in your goddamn unlife or whatever you are? Huh? Maybe that would be more helpful than fucking dragging me away in the night! How about I pry the final pieces from your goddamn cold dead hands? Then maybe things should start falling into place. Certainly you would. The witch. Is he talking about Sybil? No fucking shit.
A spark of recognition, so you haven't forgotten about her. Good. That should make your work today much easier.
Ah, so that's what that guy, I forget the name of, was forgetting. What, has she vanished and decided to make everyone forget about her? Classic fucking witches. But before you have the chance to respond, he's gone, slipping back into the shadows. Yeah, well, Fuck you too. Nothing left for you to do here but leave. Yeah, leave. That sounds nice. Make your way back to where you woke up. Yada yada yada. I wonder what these lead to. Tabitha can't be trusted. Of course Tabitha can't be trusted. Nobody who has the things you just saw hidden away in a locked wing of their house can be trusted. Nobody in this whole fucking town can be trusted. What are you gonna do about it? No. Tabitha is just as in the dark as I was. The Forbidden Wing is forbidden. It's in the name. It's possible that Tabitha didn't even know anything was in there. And if she did know something was hidden away, it's possible she has no idea what that something was. Entirely possible. I mean, we've already seen something that she probably didn't know about. The letters. In that same Forbidden Wing. Very close to all of that other stuff. Plausible. Maybe not just as in the dark, but Tabitha deserves a chance to explain herself. She is your cousin, after all. You'll just tell her everything you saw, and surely the two of you can have a healthy and productive conversation and get to the bottom of things. Right? This is Scarlet Hollow, of course not. Maybe going to hear her side of things directly is your best course of action. Or, everything in the Forbidden Wing was ancient. Tabitha has nothing to do with it. That is true. Everything you saw in the Forbidden Wing was from before Tabitha's time. No, that's not entirely correct. The letters from Tabitha's father certainly weren't ancient, but their presence at least partially exonerates her. At the very least, she probably hasn't dug through Edwardine's drawers. Precisely. And you'd think if she was going up to the Forbidden Wing on a regular basis to do weird ritual shenanigans, she would have eventually been curious enough to check that not even hidden door, just partially obscured. Wayne can't be trusted. Now that is certainly true. Of course Wayne can't be trusted. He followed you since practically the moment you arrived in Scarlet Hollow. And what has he really done for you? You resolved the situation with Reese. You resolved the situation with the ghost haunting the library. Why would you ever trust the intentions of something that feels more like a shambling corpse than a man? Especially when that shambling corpse carried you off from the comfort of your bed in the middle of the night. But distrusting Wayne isn't enough to wholly dismiss the events and discoveries of this morning. These aren't the sort of revelations a person just sits on. You have to do something. All reasonable points. So, let's just go with this one again. And let's see. I'm not ready to make a move. I'm going to the library to get more information. Oh yeah, and hi, ditchlings. Don't think I didn't notice you. God, you guys are ugly-looking motherfuckers. Yeah, the library. Always a good time. You're not going anywhere without doing more research, especially not after all the effort you went through to save the library. You're going there before you do anything else. Oh yeah, I guess if I hadn't saved the library, which I think there were potential failure states there in that chapter, I might not have the option to do this. Lagniapp. You practically sprint the whole distance to the library, your lungs greedily sucking in the crisp fall air as you go. You take a moment to regain your composure outside of the door. And that's when I get ambushed by boiling oil poured from up high. Oh, no. I guess I just go right in. I really thought though that was a setup for something happening right before I entered the library, but okay. Hang on, what voice did I give to Scraps? Yes, okay. I don't know what you expect me to do about this, Jimmy. I can't exactly talk to the human, can I? And here I thought you were interested in helping the dogs of this town. Or does that only apply to the select few you deem worthy of help? There are much bigger problems around here than whether or not your office is locked. Don't you have a house to go back to anyway? What do you need that room for? The office is where I do my important mayoral duties, and it's where the mayoral bed is stored, which happens to be my favorite, so I was upset to find it entirely inaccessible. That large bearded man has one job in this town, and it's to open my office at 8 a.m. sharp every weekday. That's concerning. What happened to the large bearded man, then? Jimmy, go home to your human, alright? It's dangerous to be wandering around on your own out here, but I can't be your personal bodyguard. You already got one of those. Scraps turns and leaves, his claws clicking across the pavement. No wonder they elected me. It's like he doesn't even care about what makes a mayor. Mayor Jimmy wanders off, undoubtedly settling in on an inferior bed elsewhere in the library. Ah, crap, what voice did I give to Pixel? Shit. I need to consult the archives again. That's the trouble of going on a hiatus, you know, besides the part where I nearly died and all that. Wow, that looks weird. I'm going through this scene with Pixel in it and scrolling through it, and everyone else is moving around, and Pixel is stock still. Fucking hell. That looks weird. Eerie. Gonna sit all over the place. Make the whole library stink like a dog. People should make the cat the mayor. Do a way better job. Less stinky. Oh, I'm sure. I can't imagine any possible issues with making a cat the mayor. Are we allowed to let dogs walk around in the library? I mean, the mayor is here a lot, and Dad seems to like the publicity, so probably. And I'm definitely not gonna ask him. Not with the way he's being right now. Quit vague posting about him. What the fuck's going on? Joe Bob, do you think you could, go check on Mr. Gutierrez? We think he's been down there since yesterday. Oh, what fresh hell is this? In the hole. The one under my room. Oh. Builder's blue balls. You've been holed up in the goddamn hole since yesterday, and no one seems especially worried about... Okay. He kinda yelled at us when we tried to go down there, so we stayed over at my place, but my parents are kinda sick of sleepovers and said Rosaline has to go back to her house. But then Mr. Gutierrez is still under a room, and I don't think he wants us around, and he's talking to himself. Oh my... And the red flags just keep on fucking coming, like a goddamn USSR pride parade. Yeah, he's kinda scaring us. Okay. So, maybe you can go talk to him for us. Sure. What kind of stuff has he been talking about? I wanna kill everyone. Satan is good. Satan is our pal. I don't know. A lot of stuff about the rock we found down there. Have you seen this old movie? The Amityville Horror? He sounds like the guy in that who tried to kill his whole family. Okay. Not that that's gonna happen or anything. Is this a fucking setup? Are you, like, trying to engineer the most suspicious thing in the world so you can, I don't know, clap the lid on me when I go down there and trap me there? 'Cause this is getting ridiculous. Especially not if you talk to him. Do you think the ghost wasn't really gone? There hasn't been any weird ghosty stuff going on, so I don't know. Besides all that. The dad in that movie was possessed by something when he went crazy. Maybe my parents were just kidding, and we can both go stay at my house again. Another so-called explore option that actually advances that shit. I'm so sick of those. Absolutely fucking sick of them. God, can one person in this town keep it together? I know. And this is after he kept promising he was gonna start doing normal stuff again. But he's supposed to be working, and he's not. Like, am I supposed to do his job now? Is that how it works? But I don't know how to use the computer. It's like 1,000 years old. Hopefully he'll come out once Joe Bob goes to talk to him. Then maybe he'll make us lunch, at least. Okay. You head into the library's annex and cross into Oscar's house. Wakey wakey, motherfucker! This shit will end if I have to drag you out by your tits myself. Rosalina's room is exactly as it was on Wednesday night, the very moment Stella opened the trap door. The carpet is pulled back, the hatch leading to the basement standing wide open. It sends an uncomfortable shiver down your spine, remembering the way it felt to see it in the twisted mind of a dead man. Fucking teen interest. Many Boys. New album, 11/22. That is Many Boys. That one kind of looks like a... Some of them... Well, actually, it kind of looks like they might be girls, to be honest. Kind of hard to say. Kind of hard to tell from this distance. Skull face. Is that fucking... Never mind. Is that a fucking humanoid rabbit with massive tits? Could be something else with large ears, but kind of looks like that. And that looks familiar, but I'm not entirely certain where from. Weirdos. Anyway. But that dead man is gone. You know he is. Fairly certain anyway. And now the only occupant of the dirt hole beneath Rosalina's room is Oscar, his muttered voice rising up from the open hatch. Oi, fucko! Stop being a bozo! This had better be good, Oscar! Oh, hey, is that Joe Bob? You'll have to come down. I can't hear you from up here. Oh, of course I will. Okay, time for fuckers to come in and slam the door on me to trap me in or some shit. You descend into the basement to find Oscar, crouching on the dirt amid a pile of muddied paper. Should take better care of that stuff. There are, like, get a fucking binder or some shit. One of the ones that doesn't need holes punched in them, probably. There are markings scrawled on their off-white surfaces. Words, symbols, all forming odd patterns. Aren't they always? Or we should at least get, like, plastic sleeves or something. What voice did I give to this guy? Joe Bob. Just who I was hoping to see. You would not believe the discoveries I've made. Or maybe you would, given everything you've witnessed this week. But it doesn't matter, because I finally have someone I can share this with. Because let me tell you, Rosalina was not ready to hear about everything I learned. Don't get me wrong, I get it, she's just a kid, and she's had a miserable week. But you, Joe Bob, you're an adult. Your brain is fully formed. I don't like the way this is going. No, I see that look in your eyes. Before you say anything, let me just catch you up to speed. The town is alive. What does that even mean? What does that even mean? Well, maybe alive isn't quite the right word. Do you know about the Portuguese man-o'-war? Colloquially, we refer to it as a single organism, but it's actually a colony of different organisms working together as one unit. Yes, I know all about the man-o'-war. A siphonophore. So what you're saying is that the town is kind of like an organism, but is actually a colony of a lot of individual forms of life, all forming a single unit. I hate to break it to you, Oscar. That's what a town is. Genetically, they're all the same. But I'm rambling. Scarlet Hollow is like that, but the different organisms are these stone carvings. Like the one right here. Okay, so what you're saying is each of the carvings are part of a set that all work together? That also isn't surprising in the slightest. That just sounds like a regular ritual. The individual members of the colony are waking up now, and I've been talking to one of them for hours. It's proving to be an invaluable research assistant. Oh, what you're saying is that the carvings themselves are alive. That's a lot more useful information. Don't fucking bury the lead on that. You explained it in the most confusing fucking way you could have. Also, you're sitting here in the dark talking to a carving alone and not telling anyone else about this until I just stumble upon you? You know, the carving that just recently was probably responsible for the stuff that was fucking our shit? Idiot! This is the most Wayland-Yutani shit I've ever seen. And I grew up on Vetus. Something feels right in the man's words. His understanding is flawed, translated through his own mind and the solid reality he feels he occupies, but there is an image behind those words, a pattern, a network, fractured. Thanks, Mystical, that's very helpful. Every member of a Portuguese man-o'-war has the same genetic code. But what if these carvings aren't clones of each other, so much as they're aspects of an original being that have been split apart? Makes sense to me. Honestly, seems like the obvious assumption here. A set of carvings separated from the same rock, so to speak. You mean to say that rather than being created this way, the carvings were intentionally shaped from something that already existed? But why? What would each of these aspects be? I found sketches of them in a hidden study in the estate this morning. They're certainly labeled as if they're a list of aspects. You show Oscar the notes you found hidden away in Enoch's desk. Maybe I'll get to see them this time. Now, prosperity, vitality, spirit, bounty, throne. And Dominion seems to be the one under our feet. Yes! These feel correct, if archaic. I would call this one something closer to order than Dominion. Maybe I'd call it justice, if that didn't feel too informed by the trial. What's the difference? No, really, that's not a rhetorical question. What is the difference that you're pointing out here? Also, see? You don't need that stupid stone as your research partner. I can give you better answers than it. It's interesting, actually. Having these words helps me almost focus on them as individuals, even if I can't quite connect a given presence to a given word. But one of them has been awake for far longer than the others. I can feel that much. Which one? Throne, perhaps? Basing that on almost nothing, but it gets blurry, where one stops and another starts. Then give me your blurry feeling and let's go from there. I can work with vagaries. I've had to. You can imagine these stone carvings as nodes on a web or organs in a body. I'm mixing my metaphors, but the important part is that there's a connective tissue binding all of them, and that web is Scarlet Hollow. We're all trapped in that web. Evidently. We certainly are by the hand of the author. You're talking about a metaphysical web here, right? Obviously. I am. Good. We're on the same page. And yes, it seems that the essence, shall we say, of every person in Scarlet Hollow is effectively bound to the town. People can try to leave, but the binding is elastic, and the more they pull away, the harder it snaps them back into place. And it's only going to get worse now that the town has started waking up. Incredible that we have, for all intents and purposes, discovered proof of the human soul, and that it's only an afterthought in all of this. But I digress. What do you mean, proof of the human soul? I can think of 10 ways that could be accomplished without any such thing. And what do you even mean by soul in the first place? If this is all true, then how did my mom manage to leave? I don't know. Maybe she figured out a way to unwind herself from the web, or stretch it out as thin as she could. Perhaps knowing about the nature of Scarlet Hollow is enough to resist its pull, even if that resistance takes a terrible toll on a person. Though, it's possible that knowing only meant she could force herself to stay away for as long as she could, despite the consequences. From what I heard, there were consequences. Herland could have embellished how hard it was for her out there. But the cancer, that was a fact, wasn't it? And she didn't leave forever anyway. The town got part of her back. You. Me. Now when you say all of us are caught in it, I mean anyone who passes through the town. But there's a cumulative effect. The longer you stay, the deeper your ties, and the more tangled up you get. Is this all gonna turn out to be a metaphor? Because that sounds like a metaphor. If you drift into town to work at the mines for a few months before heading back out, you might just be left with a spell of bad luck. Maybe a tug at the back of your mind, telling you to go back, that things were better here. I certainly felt that tug. Years and years of it. I always thought it meant I was weak, that I wasn't cut out for life outside the holler. And maybe you weren't. And maybe you were. Or weren't, or whatever. I can't tell you how good it feels to finally know that it wasn't my fault. There's a simple explanation. I could never truly leave. It wasn't my fault. Are you sure this isn't motivated reasoning here? I'd like to double check your work here. From your enthusiasm, I take it you have some sort of plan? I do, actually. Dad? Rosalina and Alexis lean down from the hatch, silhouetted in the sunlight pouring through the bedroom windows. Rosalina, sweetheart, I'm in the middle of something at the moment. You've been down there forever. Alexis is hungry. I'm hungry. You've gotta be hungry too. Can you just come upstairs? For food? Last night? It's only been a few hours. Mr. Gutierrez, it's Friday now, and like, almost noon. Oh. Is that right? Friday? Oscar sighs, rubbing the bridge of his nose. His glasses have left deep marks in his skin, irritating and red. You mean irritated? I guess I might find them irritating, I don't know. I see. I'll be up in a second. You said that... I promise this time. Joe Bob is just about to leave, and then I'll come up. Come up now! The pizza rolls are already on the counter. They're gonna defrost if they're out much longer, and I don't know how to work your oven. You hear the girls' footsteps above you as they walk back towards the kitchen, talking amongst themselves. The connection is weaker now, anyway. Maybe the stone wants me to take a break, too. Joe Bob, before I forget. He reaches for one of the books on the floor, casually ripping a page free and holding it out to you. Some people would burn him at the stake for that. I am not one of them. It's a map of Scarlet Hollow. There's another one on Julius Tremaine's farm. Figured. Oh, didn't know exactly whose, but I figured. It's already starting to wake up. Go there. Do what you've done with the others. And hopefully I'll have more for you when you're back. I'll refuel. Make sure the girls are squared away. You do that. Then it's back to work. If the carving still wants to talk. Sure, that sounds entirely sane and safe. I'm sure doing the bidding of some carvings can't possibly go horribly wrong, especially if they really are the ones causing all of this, which I would be astonished if they weren't. Can't you come with me? I wish I could go with you, but my place is here, at least for now. I can't risk losing the connection. And the carving on the Tremaine property is intimidating. You wuss. Mine seems afraid of it. Are you gonna let that carving run your whole fucking life? Is he gonna hold your dick while you piss? I need to take care of my daughter too. There's only so much of me to go around. That's at least fair enough, I guess. But I should be able to tell when it's done. And if I don't hear from you after, No, I know I'll hear from you. And then I proceed to ghost him. The Holler wouldn't let anything truly bad happen to you. Not while you're within the town limits. I'll bet. What if I don't wanna? I can't force you to do anything. And I don't think the carving can. But it's that or accept your doom. Doom is underrated. Though, at the end of the day, while the Holler's web is large, it's still too small to ever get very far away from where it wants you to be. Hang on. Well, people have been talking about how his property is all booby-trapped. What if it's not safe? I can't force you to do anything. Shit. Oops. You're not gonna wind up like Charlie, are you? I doubt it. I'm a living man. I imagine it's much harder to twist something like me than, say, the remnants of a shattered mind, not tied to a physical body. And the source cited is the author's ass. I mean, one of the surest ways to know you've been compromised by the threat is a strong confidence that you haven't been compromised by the threat, as they say. So long as no one is planning on murdering me, I'm sure I can handle a little communication with unfathomable beings. You are, huh? Okay, sure. Especially considering I had the advantage of going to college after the discovery of certain, substances. That is to say, I have plenty of experience navigating this sort of enhanced state. Experience that I'd wager Charlie didn't possess. Okay. Fair enough, I guess. Before I go, I should tell you about what I found this morning. Tell him everything. As you recount your journey into the Forbidden Wing, every harrowing detail, Oscar seems to grow pensive, restless. He keeps glancing down at the stone, his lips partially forming words that are never quite audible. He pauses when you finish, as if listening to something you can't hear. Yes, I see. It makes sense that your family, the Scarlet family, has a connection to the nature of Scarlet Hollow. That isn't surprising. I had assumed as much. But you shouldn't pay too much mind to what you found in the estate. Not yet. Missing the forest for the trees, you understand, yes? The important thing, that is, the bottom line, is the town, or at least the part of the town I've been in contact with, wants to be free of itself. It's as trapped as all of us, after all. And if we help cut it loose, it doesn't matter what you found up there. Because we'll all be dead! Well, you sure are taking this carving at its word, aren't you? I mean, even if it's true that it wants to be free, which is a dubious prospect in and of itself, as for all we know, we're only strengthening the chains that bind us all here. In fact, there's straight up evidence of that. Weak evidence, but it's there. Even if it does, are we sure we want it to be free? We've seen what it's done with its captivity. Are we sure we want to see what it will do with its freedom? So we focus on that goal. We focus on the carvings. I'm sure the carvings would want you to say that. Wayne wanted me to find someone he called the Witch. Do you have any idea who she is, or how she might come into play? I've got some ideas there myself, certainly. Is that so? The witch? That word, it feels heavy, doesn't it? Important. At least to the carving. If Wayne mentioned it, he must have goals in common with the carving. This witch is familiar to it. This anger. I see, of course. She brought them here. It's her fault. That's multiple leaps of logic in the same paragraph, but sure. It wants you to destroy her. Well, I wasn't opposed to that idea, but now I'm starting to think maybe I should be. I know you think you're being helpful, but you need to bury this thing. It's dangerous. Joe Bob, I know I'm not that much older than you in the grand scheme of things, but I'm far enough along in life to understand that avoiding danger is never truly possible. Oh, spare me this sophistry. It will find you, one way or another. No one lives forever, but a person's life can be made more impactful, more valuable, through action. But who has ever done that by running away when things get complicated? Spare me this sophistry. I don't know why this carving has chosen me, but it's already helped us so much, hasn't it? I beg your fucking pardon? Are you high? Builder, preserve me, you're compromised. For the first time since that bloodstain appeared in the carpet, I actually feel useful. I'm still in possession of all my faculties, Joe Bob. I don't believe you. If that changes, I'll stop. Of course I will. I especially don't believe you on that. I won't leave my daughter alone like that. But I've been given an incredible opportunity to make my life worth something. Yes, because you're definitely going to be aware when you're not in possession of all your faculties. There's so many things wrong with that statement that it could only be spoken by someone not in possession of all his faculties. Or an especially stupid person, I suppose. Of course I'm going to take it. Every word out of your mouth just makes me more opposed. Thanks for literally nothing, Oscar. This was useless. Was it? I thought we had an extremely productive conversation. You leave him down there in the dark to keep talking to his rock. Just got roll for sanity. Speak with Oscar after he's made contact with something other. All we really got from that conversation is the rocks are alive, or at least Oscar thinks they are. And also, Oscar is extremely compromised by the rocks. Or is just high. And the location of another rock, which I already kinda knew. I guess we got a map of Scarlet Hollow. I guess it was a productive conversation for Oscar. I'd say that he learned a lot more than I did. In terms of actual reliable information. Like I said before. Fucking no one can be relied upon here. Or trusted. Oh well. We knew that already, didn't we? There's only one person we can rely on here. Ourselves. And even then, we're at the mercy of the predetermined choices we have. Oh well. That's that for today, then. So until next time, I have been Joe Bob, and I'm very peeved. And remember, dislike the video, unsubscribe if you're for some reason subscribed, and leave a nasty comment in the comment section down below. Fuck you all so much for watching, and so long, suckers.
You're gonna be okay, kid.